Alright, hello. Today I'm going to be sharing my Santa Shapes activity kit box that I have created. This is by me, Megan Dale, and it is for Early Childhood Education 200, Observing and Assessing Young Children. And today's date is December 2nd, 2021. I just used this box because this is what I had on hand. You just open the sides here, and inside we'll find a couple things here. So I included this little sticker sheet. It is just for fun to decorate the box if they'd like to add a little bit of fun to the activity. And then also included is scissors and a glue stick. They may or may not have this in their classroom, but I figured I'd include it. And then, okay, next in the box we will find some traces of shapes here, which will be used to create our Santa Claus shapes. So there's the red hat the red triangles for the hat. And then here are two different Santa Claus shapes that the kids can choose from. Of course, on this sheet, there's a circle and a trapezoid. My plan was for them to create one Santa at school, and then they could go home and create another Santa Claus with their family. So here is that piece. And then this is another sheet for the Santa Clauses. This goes with the circle Santa Claus, and then that for the trapezoid Santa Claus. And then here is a puffball cut out for his hat, and a half circle that they will need to cut out for his mustache. And then the last thing in here is just a little puffball for the Santa Claus nose. All right, for the activity portion here, I've already begun to cut some out the pieces. So these pieces are for the rectangle Santa Claus, and this is his beard, mustache, puffball for his hat, and then here will be his face and the triangle for the hat. So now I will continue cutting these shapes out and then record again whenever I'm putting it together. Okay, so bear with me. I have a very weird setup for my camera right now, but this is the best way I can do it to show the actual activity itself. So first we'll start with the hat. Just glue on the back here and stick it to the top. And in true pre-K fashion, I got glue everywhere. And then the beard is next, and differentiate between the face is the face will be an ivory tan color, and then the beard is the white color. So then this one will get glue all over here. And we will put that right here for the beard. And then next, oh my goodness. Okay. All right, and then next will be these little half circles that are the mustache. So I will just glue the top of that. Stick right on the top of the beard. And then the next side of the mustache here. The other side. And then this circle is the white pom-pom for on top of his hat. There's that. Some more glue. And then we have these little puff balls. They can really be like any neutral color. I've seen some that people use that were red or pink or tan. So I had white on hand. So I'm just going to put a little glue in the middle of the mustache. Stick that on for the nose. And then I'm going to use a marker, but any marker, crayon, pencil, we can do for the eyes here. Let's see if I can do it. Simple little eyes. And then there we have it. You could decorate this however we wanted, but I'm just trying to make it simple. So this is our rectangular Santa Claus. And I forgot to mention too, the nice thing about this activity I found is that even though we are doing a rectangular Santa Claus, there's also other shapes included, like the triangle and the circle for the pom-pom on the hat. All right, so the last thing to talk about will be the assessment. So the student assessment, I will record the data as the students are creating their shapes. I'll be walking around the room, helping obviously with any students that need help, and recording the answers to some questions, which will be like so what shape do you have for your Santa Claus? And they answer, if they answer correctly, if they say square, they have a square, then I'll say, okay, what makes that a square? How did you know it was a square? How many sides does it have? All these questions that are included on the handout. So if I don't get to all of the students as I'm walking around the room during the activity, then at the end, after everyone's completed their activity, I am going to have each table stand up at one table at a time, and then have one student at a time explain what shape they had, talk about the shapes on their Santa Claus, and at that point I will then record the rest of the students' information on the assessments. And the assessments that I chose was checklist for the students, and then a rating scale. I decided that these were the best assessments for this standard, which is identifying and describing shapes, and that is the assessment.
Alright, so I just completed the rectangle Santa Claus, so now I'm going to show the cutting part of what I did. So here is, each student will have the triangles. So, I mean, I know everyone knows how to cut out these triangles, but for the sake of the video. So then this one will be for the circle Santa Claus head. And like I said, I included the scissors and the glue stick in with the box. That way everybody could just have their own, and if maybe they didn't have them at home, they could take the scissors home to have there for whenever they have arts and crafts or practicing cutting at home. And this is practice for me even, because circles are not very fun to cut out. So, oh, you can't even see me there. Trying to do this as quickly as possible without messing up. And the scissors being small doesn't help either. Okay, so then this will get glued on here. And then...
Alright, so I finished cutting out the circular shapes here in the half circles. So then here's the beard for the Santa circle. I'll just line it up there. And then once I have these completed, these are what I will use for an example for the students, so that they know how to put the Santa Claus together. Maybe just even have one of them for an example, so they can see here. You wouldn't probably need all 4 shapes, and this could be used for other shapes as well. I did circle, square, rectangle, and trapezoid, but you could also do like an oval. You could even probably do a triangle. And then the last step here is just the little eyes. And that is that. So then I added some snowflakes to this one just to show that you could spice it up a little bit. But then the students can compare their shapes. Whoops. The students can compare their shapes, and whenever I'm assessing, they can tell me that the rectangle has 4 sides and they don't all have to be the same length. And then the circle only has 1, and the triangle, of course, has 3 sides. So that is how we can identify and describe shapes.